Aloha, everybody. Oh my goodness. It's that time. Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Islands Social Network. Whoo! And with me, so happy to have her join me as co-host Polalea Hana Mai Kai. Hui!
Aloha, folks. How are we in social media land?
My goodness, Pualalea is on Hawaii Island, and I am on the big island of America. And by virtue of social media, we're able to get together. And you notice we are social distance, right? Because she's over there, and I'm over here, and we okay.
You know what, uncles? You know, some people use that 6-foot distance thing to be safe and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
We are expert level because we're at 2,600 miles.
I wanted to call attention to the music we were listening to. This is the wonderful late Kapo Ku with his original song Peheala off of the album that the Sandwich Islands Social Network produce, and that is available online. You can add this music and a number of other artists, all living here in California. And the name of the project is Mocha California 808 Makai. All original artists by the artists themselves, all who have a connection to Hawaii, available on iTunes. You can see examples of it on the Sandwich Islands Social Network YouTube page as well, and you can enjoy that. So, my goodness, Pulalea, you have been busy, and I know you're in the middle of a number of other projects right there on Hawaii Island, but we want to welcome our friends to the Aloha Friday show with the Sandwich Islands Social Network. It is a series of conversations, fun conversations, sharing the lives and journey of people in our island community. The Sandwich Islands Social Network is a organization that serves Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart, that right here in our community. And we would love it if you would consider a tax-deductible donation to the work that we do. And we have a Patreon platform, and it's right here at patreon.com/Sandwich Islands 808. And tax-deductible donations gratefully accepted. You can find out how you can be a sustaining member of our Sandwich Islands Social Network, ohana, patreon.com/Sandwich Islands 808. And again, welcome, Pualalea. So good to see you.
It's good to be seen. But I also want to remind our friends that are watching that our Facebook Live broadcast, the Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Islands Social Network, is a live, interactive, chat-driven show. What does that mean? That means we welcome your questions and your comments throughout the show. So we're going to go ahead and koke. We're going to type. Maka papa kole in the chat box.
Very
And
nice.
we would love to hear from you. It's always good fun. You know why? Because we have the craziest friends that come in and the stuff they say.
We do, yeah.
You know when? Because like I will go to Amazon and read the comments on certain things because the comments are just pure comedy. Same with Aloha Friday with Sandwich Island Social Network. Same.
And who knew that on social media that speaking pidgin and typing pidgin would be so colorful, because there are no rules with spelling, so it's good times.
Yeah. Ohelula. No rules without rules.
So,
No boundaries.
you know what, Pulalea? We are so blessed to have a dear friend of ours join us for the Aloha Friday video podcast, all the way from Northern California, by way of Alio Manu. Alio Manu represent. We're going to talk about that small kid time. Please join me in welcome uber talented brother Ukulele Kiho Alu. I don't know where he got. We got to talk where he got that beautiful falsetto voice. That
Right, that little kid. Whew. Oh, bueno. Hi.
Please welcome Stephen Espinola. What's up, Stephen?
Aloha, hey, how's it going, you guys?
We're doing good. Stephen, you're not officially on the show until the Menehunis welcome you. Hang on. There we go. And those guys are from
Oh, that's
Mocha.
awesome.
Here's the Makai. Here's the Makai. There you go. Okay. So
Was that soundbite taken from my actual gig with like 5 people?
and then, because we do not have a conch shell, to welcome you. This is the best we can do. This is the Portuguese conch shell. Okay, so you are officially on the show.
I love it.
Oh my goodness. So Stephen, you originally from Oahu up Alio Manu. Tell us about the early days. I mean, growing up in Alio Manu, what kind of was there a sugarcane sugar mill? I guess that was air. There was a sugar mill.
Yeah,
Not that close.
that's way
Out
back.
of
I
sight.
think more before my time.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, a lot of people don't know where Ali Manu is. It's by as soon as I say like Pearl Harbor or Swap Meet
Okay.
or those kind of iconic places,
Right.
then people sort of kind of get Red Hill. Well, Red Hill right now there's a lot of in the news right now. So that whole area is kind of nestled in between between Salt Lake is Ali Manu, and I loved growing up there. It was a nice, I mean, not different from any other, Hawaiian upbringing. Family was huge, and I was always supported by, I was raised by a committee. My aunties and uncles and my grandma and my grandpa sort of all took part in raising my kolohenas.
So at what age did you leave and you finally made the final move to Northern California?
So I moved right around, I think I was 14. So
Okay.
right before I would have went to Radford, which I actually counted as kind of like a blessing in disguise. Radford has sort of a rough reputation, and my whole family went to Radford. So apologies to anyone who went to Radford. But if I went there, I probably would have been in the MMA or something, instead of playing music. So
Wow. Okay. All right. So the closest place when you were a teen growing up, if you had a few dollars in your pocket, few coins in your pocket, you're just gonna go out grind. Was there a
Yeah.
favorite drive-in, hang out by your place?
yeah, there was a couple actually, and so I went to Pearl Harbor Elementary School, and then I also took karate from my grandpa Smiley, which his school was not too far from Pearl Harbor, and right across from my school there was a place called Sam's Fountain, and not that many people know of Sam's Fountain. In fact, I think me and Brian Tolentino, maybe like a sprinkling of other people. Brian knows of the place because he actually took Kempo karate from my grandpa.
Wow.
So he shares the love for Sam's Fountains. Cheeseburgers. They used to make these crazy cheeseburgers, and instead of cheese, they would put like cheese whiz on top. So the cheese was already melted, and it was like to a kid, it's like heaven, right? to a grown up too. But that was amazing. Sam's Fountain, and then there's also intermediate school. Soon's Kalbi was right across from my school, so we used to always go hang out there and eat. I think Soon's is actually still there.
Wow.
Yeah, little hole in the wall Korean
Yeah.
Kalbi place.
So here's your Uncle Smiley over here. Tell us about Uncle Smiley.
Yeah. So my Grandpa Smiley. So he, he was amazing. He was like old school. in every sense. He was like the most amazing person. He was sort of like a father figure to me growing up, because I didn't, my I grew up knowing my dad, but my grandpa was like the father figure to me, and I looked up to him. He right there, he's posing with his Kempo stance. So he enrolled me in Kempo karate when I was really small, and me and like I mentioned earlier, like fighting of any kind, I don't think really went hand in hand. I was more interested in just kind of like being running around and just getting into stuff. But that was sort of like a short-lived thing, me learning karate. But my grandpa was amazing. He also after he retired, he worked at the swap meet for many years. So a lot of people know my grandpa Smiley from working there, and he used to actually sneak me in and take me to like the Pro Bowl games.
Nice.
And swap meet too.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. I saw this over here. So, how old is that? I mean, you got to be what? Goodness.
I don't even. Six-ish, yeah.
Yeah, six-ish, right?
Yeah. Looking studious.
Looking very, looking very studious.
Cute, oy.
Cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, that's our Steven." And then
It's funny, the glasses too were sort of short-lived. I guess I needed glasses when I was young, and I would do the old thing where I would wear the glasses going to school. Then it would end up like in my cubby hole for like all of school, and then when whoever picked me up, I would put the glasses back on.
bro, you look intense over here with your glasses and look at the fist, poor Lelia. Look at that fist. Oh,
already?
bro.
Yeah.
I think he looks quite dapper for a young man.
I should say, even then, right?
Thank
Also,
you.
you're doing everything in reverse. Yeah, some of us, we get makule, we need the makanene. And then you have in reverse.
Yeah, so
You Benjamin Buttons.
like what is that? Benjamin
Benjamin Buttons.
yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Huh?
I was ready for the Giants.
I think the glove was bigger than you, bro.
Yeah. It definitely was, yeah.
So what was the transition point, 14 years old, to leave the islands? What was happening that made you to do that arc?
So my mom was she was stationed in the Air Force, which is why and so she was away a lot here in California mostly, and so right around that age, 14, she actually left it up to me if I wanted to move to the mainland, and it was right at it. So I mean, it was a strange time because. And I'm reflecting on it now because my daughter's actually 14, so I'm having to it's a strange time to be in anybody's life because you're going through all these sort of like changes and mood swings and all this kind of stuff. So I had the option to stay home or move to the mainland, and I already had a taste of life in the Bay Area because I would visit. I had cousins here that I would visit every summer. So I mean, and I enjoyed the time that I had here in the mainland, and plus I wanted to be closer to my mom too. So I made that leap, and it was a struggle at first because my wife actually it's funny because my wife's from Makaha and she moved to California at around the same age at around 14. And we always reflect on how hard it was because of, pidgin, right? And nobody could understand us. So that was a tough transition for a 14-year-old moving to California. So we quickly learned how to adapt and, speak better
Wow.
I'm still learning.
Stephen, so our stories are similar as well. When I was 15,
Hmm.
I moved to California. But we weren't allowed to speak pidgin in our household, first of all. But when I got to California, what I noticed was there was a whole different world of music available. We used
Oh
to
yeah.
our Hawaiian music and whatever
Hmm.
was going on, but it just kind of opened my brain up to all kinds of different genres of music. So
Oh
given
yeah.
that you moved to California, kind of the same, high school time, yeah.
Hmm.
What was there like a band that wasn't Hawaiian music, like that was like your favorite during high school that changed your perspective on music?
So I was in. So when I moved to California, I was into like the early hip hop, like breakdancing, all that kind of stuff. And then I made a pivot to all of a sudden I was listening to more like alternative music from bands from England. And my favorite band actually in high school, all throughout high school, was a band called the Smiths. And I'm not sure if you guys heard of the Smiths. I don't know if you
Yes.
guys know.
Yeah.
Pooh, you know
I
the
love
Smiths?
them. I love them.
Still, I mean, and it's so funny because full circle, my daughter is the same age I was when I probably got into them, and now it's vintage, it's retro right now, right? So so it's classic rock. I'm having so
Thanks,
much
Kiki.
fun.
Thanks.
I'm having so much fun introducing her to that music, the music I listened to in high school, and it's a way for us to sort of connect and bond. But yeah, I was listening to all sort of like that kind of music, British music, the British invasion, and then like later in high school, I started to I think it was my senior year in high school. I started to play bass guitar, and the bass actually really opened my eyes to so much more music because I started to really hone in on bass and started to get into like Brazilian music and reggae and jazz. I mean, I went really deep into jazz. I was like consuming it and just trying to learn bass at the same time. So it's all of this kind of music that I was just trying to absorb, just like you, I was just trying to like take it all in because it was just all there, right? And it wasn't as readily available as it is now. You couldn't just tune into Spotify or TikTok. You had to actually go out to Tower Records, make a gamble on a $15 purchase, and
You, you only
like,
know one or two songs, the rest was all. No.
yeah, there's so many of that. Like I mean, sometimes you get referrals from people, but usually, I mean, the fun was discovering music. And
Yeah.
kids today are they sort of have that, by discovering music on Spotify, Pandora, and TikTok. But it's not. You're not. There's no investment in it. It's just like you happen to see it on a TikTok stream, or you happen to see it somewhere, and
Yeah.
you can click on it and like it and consume it, but you're not making that purchase. So I
Right.
don't think you're as invested as we
Good
were in
point.
my day.
Good point. Back in my day. I want to just take a minute just to jump in because we have quite a few of our friends that are popping in, and I will acknowledge that the Menehunis are not being kind to us today. We have some interruption with the stream
Uh-oh.
and the videos dropping in and out. On our side, we don't see it, but the translation from where we are over to Facebook, somehow the Menehunis are fooling around. So, e kalamai for that. That's kind of out of our control. The Menehunis are messing around. However, let's see. Denise Kaneki Gableman, aloha from Concord, California. She's saying aloha.
That's my auntie.
Oh, aloha. We played, Andy and I played in Concord at Carol's what was that called? The
Oh, the Q.
At the Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great spot.
Bobby Nalawai says, "Aloha, brother." Thank you for dropping in, Bobby. And
Hi, Uncle
let's
Bobby.
see, Fatima Angeles, aloha from the Bay Area.
Hey,
Yes, your
how's it,
name.
Hey, we're
Fats?
Bay.
Fats up over there. And let me see.
Oh,
Also,
Mr. Marty Burns just joined
we
us.
also have Olin. Olin saying, "Aloha, brother Kamaka from Concord, California."
How's it?
Yes, that's all from in your neck of
That's
the
your
woods
hood.
there,
No,
brother.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heke Ole says, "I'm having some difficulty with hearing the sound." Yeah, and a lot of video interruptions. Yes, we'll do the best we can. There, down in San Diego side, Lome Lome Ka Ome
Coming
he
home.
is a Akoni Apana is a cardiopraktic. He's saying aloha. He does a lot
Ah,
of lomi lomi and
why did my
massage.
back hurt as soon as I read
Yeah.
that?
Right? You're like, whoa.
Yeah, no
No, no.
question, Marty. The many hoonies are in full effect. Somehow they are attracted to Steven Espaniola. I don't know why. Um,
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest, social media peoples. He's quite attractive.
yeah.
He's pretty attractive.
Oh, thank you.
You mentioned jazz, and
Mm.
on one of your posts, you mentioned your uncle Nando, and he loved Wes Montgomery, who I really love Wes Montgomery's style of playing. Um, he had an influence as well on you to listen to him
Oh,
play.
big time, yeah. So my uncle Nando, he actually for many years and I didn't know this when I was a kid. So for many years he was the guitarist for Ota-san, and
Wow.
Ota-san, for I don't know if anybody doesn't know, very influential, iconic ukulele player who's influenced many of today's and the generation that preceded. Um, so he played with Ota-san. He was kind of Ota-san's right hand man,
Wow.
and yeah, that was the. It was funny as a kid too. I always, well, actually not as a kid. As I was older, when I knew who Wes Montgomery was, I always thought, like, oh, my uncle kind of plays in the style of Wes Montgomery. But I found out later that he actually learned from Wes Montgomery,
Wow.
which just kind of was insane to me. Like that was amazing.
Yeah. Wes Montgomery is a
There
But
it is. Yeah.
monster, man. Man.
yeah, like I wish, hindsight, you always reflect back and you say, like, man, I could have learned from. I never learned directly from my uncle Nando, and then also my uncle Larry, Debbie Bar. Um, and these guys were just monster hammer musicians.
Wow.
But I learned from them. What I got from them was sort of just through osmosis, just kind of being around that environment. They would, to me, being at a party on a Saturday or Sunday with two musicians jamming was just a normal thing, right? Like that was just a Saturday for me. So I think them making it normal and just having that there was sort of what made music not intimidating for me. It made it inviting
Yeah.
when it was time for me to learn. So although I didn't really learn technique and the nuts and bolts of how to play from them, I learned in different ways.
Yeah. Now, apparently you've had music, all around you. Here's a picture of your
Love
ohana
this.
here.
Right.
They were a trio of.
Yeah, yeah, that's my grandma, my auntie Lillian, and my auntie June, and they had a trio called the Debbie Bar Sisters, and they were sort of like Hawaii's version of the Andrews Sisters. So they
Wow.
had like the 3-part harmonies, and again, like my grandmother was, she was very instrumental in introducing me to the ukulele because it was just, again, it was just there in the house. I think I was the only grandchild who was allowed to touch it because I was a favorite. My cousins are all in the chat right now. But yeah, I mean, she had a beautiful concert size kamaka ukulele, which I have to this day, and I cherish that. But she sort of normalized ukulele being in the house and being there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So all of this music now, as you're growing up, you're hearing your uncle play the music of your grandmother and the family parties. All of this stuff is all kind of building up in a back over here,
Hmm.
and now you find yourself in Northern California, and you're listening to the Smiths. You're getting um, is there any Hawaiian music going on, or what was your exposure?
So, yeah, Hawaiian music was always part of my life, especially growing up in Hawaii. It was always in the background, just sort of there. C&K, Hui Ohana, Kalapana, Gabby. It was just always there. You couldn't go someplace and not hear Hawaiian music. So it was just always a part of my life. So even though I wasn't really intently listening, it was just I was sort of soaking it up through osmosis. So when it was time for me to actually, so I'll just back up a little bit. So I played bass for a while in an alternative band. We actually were really successful, and we were opening up for the Ramones, bands like
Wow.
Weezer and Green Day and stuff like that.
Oh,
So that was like sort of my first introduction into being in the limelight playing music. And then when I sort of got out of that, and I wanted to sort of slow down and find my roots again. And I think just being here in California and just missing Hawaii, that sort of really was the kind of the catalyst to really start listening and learning and absorbing Hawaii music. And then I started, just slowly getting into playing with various halau in the Bay Area, playing bass. And then I formed a band with some friends. We were called Kilohana, and that time I was just a bass player, just like grooving along, right? And then our lead singer left the group, and then all of a sudden we were an instrumental band. We didn't have a singer, and then we sort of all looked around the room and asked ourselves like, "Hey, anybody want to take the singing spot?" And then I was like, "Well, I mean, I could try. I don't really sing, but I'll take a stab at it." And like in the beginning, I was just sort of remembering like Uncle Dennis, Gary Haleama, those kind of those sounds, and I was just emulating at first, emulating this style of music, leo ki'eki'e falsetto, which I heard all growing up in Hawaii, and at first it was rough because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just sort of faking it and emulating my heroes who I absorbed. So it took a while to really get comfortable. That's the thing about falsetto is you have to have a sense of confidence, right? Like to really, because you're singing this crazy, a different type of music in a different register that's just to some ears it's just new, right? So you really have to be confident in the presentation. So it took a couple years for me to get to that level of confidence.
wow.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
long sort of the long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because you mentioned, living in Northern California, that the Bay Area, um, and also, your band with Hawaiian music is. What is it about that area, where you're living now, what you're doing in your life now that makes not coming home, like, or missing home as much?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the Bay Area, there's not really any place like the Bay Area. San Francisco is one of the an amazing city, and this whole area is just such a fast-paced, moving city. I know there's a lot of people tuned in from Hawaii too, and I'm probably gonna offend a lot of people, but I think even our food is actually rivals a lot of the food that we grew up with back home. Because we have a lot of like Michelin star restaurants here that are just amazing. I think that's what I love about being here in the Bay Area. And I love cold weather, so I love wearing jackets. Cannot do that back home.
Right?
And
It's
a
a
lot of
fashion,
the thing, what's that?
it's a fashion statement.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff that we grew up with, we can get here in the Bay Area too. Like where I play at Noelani's, I mean, I can get, spam musubi if I eat spam. Still, but I can get salmon musubi. I can get poke. I can get all of the things that I remember and loved growing up and miss. I can get it here. We have Takahashi Market where we can get virtually anything that you could find back home. We can get it there. So yeah, it's just I love living in the Bay Area. My wife and I, we always talk about making that leap and ideally eventually ending up back in Hawaii. We'd probably if we had our way, we would end up in Kauai, because we both just fell in love with Kauai when her sister-in-law moved. I mean, my sister-in-law moved to Kauai and's been there for a while now. And so every time we go back home, we visit her, and we love it there.
Quick shout out though to
Hey.
your wife's line of scents, perfume.
Oh yeah, yeah. Lama
Lama,
lama.
yeah.
So look at as if it was
Beautiful
planned.
stuff.
Look, it's like a little commercial.
Go
It's
for it.
perfect. Yeah, if you guys out there in social media land want some really beautiful scents with the Hawaiian Foundation.
Oh, that's perfect. And then her
they're
newest thing is
beautiful.
the lip
Ooh.
balms.
What is that?
Oh, lip
Lip
balm. There's
balms.
lip balms.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then all the scents it's non-gender specific. So if there's a scent that you connect with, then that's your scent. So yeah, it's been doing well. I'm very very proud of her. She's been really successful at that. I'll send you guys. I'll send you guys samples.
Well, yes, if it's my color. Oh no, it's a lip balm. Okay.
Well, both. Yeah.
Both. You mentioned this a little while ago. I just want to give our friend just a sample of it here. Yeah. This is an original.
Yeah, it's a song that I co-wrote with another a good friend of mine, Keola Donahue on Maui, Ku'ulio. And on that track is another good friend, Jeff Peterson, playing all of the lead guitars.
Wow. Very
Yeah.
nice. And when did you
How do you not hula? How do you not hula to that mele though? How do you not?
Yeah, that was the intent. Like it was funny. Like as we were writing it, the intent was always. I mean, the intent for every song, I think, is especially Hawaiian. Like is to ultimately become a hula song, right? So you always kind of imagine that when you're creating. It has
I
that,
think you've
but
done
that
it.
one in particular does have that very inviting.
It does, right? Poor Lilia starts
Makes me
moving.
want to dance, and I don't dance
And I'm
hula.
like, hey.
I don't know if you was watching, Stephen. As soon as I was playing that, pull it all
In place, no hula.
Macau. So wonderful. When did you discover falsetto? Did it just happen, or like you said, you were kind of in your mind, you were of the old falsetto singers of the day? Is that kind of?
Yeah, so like I was mentioning, the beginning was sort of rough when I was playing in the group, and I started to get more and more comfortable just emulating the people who I admired, Hui Ohana. It's so funny too, because now, I mean, I've had the chance to perform and just kanikapila with legends like Uncle Edward, and it just, like, to me, it just boggles my mind that somebody who I spent time like learning is all of a sudden now commenting on things, and I get to perform with him and things like that. So it's a surreal thing. One of the coolest things when I was learning falsetto, like I was mentioning, you have to have a certain level of confidence and belief, right? That you can sing. Was I entered the I think it was a 2001 Kindy Sprout falsetto and storytelling competition in Kona. And that was just, to me, at that point, I'd only been singing for falsetto for like 2 or 3 years. And to me, that was sort of like Mecca, right? Like you're coming to this place, and there's other falsetto singers. I came from a place where there's like maybe a couple, and then now there's like 20 of us in one place. So that was just mind-boggling to me, just being in that element. So that was fun. I didn't place, spoiler. but again, that the experience was just incredible. Yeah.
I got Fern says, I went log on and log back in. Is working great now. Okay, Fern. Yeah, maybe you caught the Menuhunis off guard. They didn't expect you to jump on. Here's Denise Gableman. I love you, nephew Stephen. Aw,
hi, Auntie.
Sweet. Ohana checking in. And Fatima says, we love dancing to Stephen's mele.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Nice. That's, to me, that's the biggest compliment when it's my sister. Hula for it in the works.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when a dancer can Kumuhula creates something that's an extension of something that you created is the most humbling thing, I think.
Yeah.
To see your words in movement, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to take on smoke time break, and we'll be right back. And we take a pause right now. There we go with a great lineup of island hearts, island people on the Aloha Friday with the Sandwich Islands Social Network. And if you just joined us and you're having some connection problems, we apologize for that. Kind of out of our control, unfortunately. The Menehunis are in control of the internet connections, and every now and then they play tricks on us. But I think maybe someone said if you log on and log back in, might be a better connection for you. But our connection right here on the Aloha Friday video podcast is definitely strong with Stephen Espaniola, who is our guest for today. And I wanted to share with you now, you've got two projects already out there that our friends can definitely enjoy. And let me see, I believe folks can find your music and information about you right there, right? Did I get that right? StephenEspaniola.com? Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect.
So the first two projects, if we were to put those together, what kind of energy and what kind of creative muse did you have for the first two projects there?
Oh, great question. Well, the first one, Ho'omaka was that was like my entry, coming into just being out there, right? And I always like to say that one is kind of like a Hawaii mixtape for me, like all of my favorites at that particular moment. And then so it was, you only have your whole life to do your debut album, and then a couple years to do your follow up. And I always, I kind of followed the same sort of format with the second album.
Okay.
I recorded both of them, including my upcoming one with producer Dave Tucheron. He's an amazing producer. I was referred to him by Brian Tolentino. And since I started working with him, he's become he's always been Nahoko Hano award-winning producer Dave Tucheron, but now he's Grammy award-winning Dave Tucheron.
Yes.
So I don't know how much longer I can afford him. But he is an incredible ear, and I love the process working with him. It's a very it's sort of he knows when to move it along, and he knows when to continue to work on a particular thing. I sort of have the benefit of being able to if something isn't working that day, like maybe I can't pick a certain part on the guitar or ukulele, and then I can we can go ahead and tackle something else. It's nice to have that luxury. So, and he knows when not to dwell too long on something and sort of kind of move it along like a really good, like a project manager.
Wow. Very good. Maybe you can pull the Kama'aina discount card for your next project. on that. And e kalamai here, Stephen. You emailed me several pieces of music, and for some reason I was not able to download this third song that Pualalea just asked me about, because it was co-written, a collaboration with a dear friend. That's our ohana over here. Our Kauai ohana is Puni Patrick. And not only is she an amazing hula dancer and just an amazing heart, and dear friend of hula sister with Pualalea, but a song called Sakura, and that's on your third project that you're working on now. Pualalea, before we ask Stephen about it, Pualalea, what do you know about the song, and have you talked with Puni about this?
So here's the thing, though. I don't know. Well, I do know a little bit about the song, but that's gonna come out with the whole CD and stuff. So that's not my
okay.
not my kuleana at this point.
you're not writing the linear notes, okay?
Right. Not my kuleana right now. When the CD comes out, you get the whole mo'olelo behind.
Okay.
But the first time I heard it, oi, Ooh, the tears just came
Oh
and just
my.
didn't stop. It was the most beautiful thing. From the very first note to the very end, it just boop right here. Ikapu'uvai. And so no worries. If anybody out there on my social media, I'm gonna be flooding your ears with this song. No worries. I'm gonna post it weekly for the until it comes out officially, should I
Oh
say?
my.
But it's just absolutely beautiful song. And a lot of people don't know that Puni Patrick is an amazing hakumele. She's written many songs, like for Mele Uhane, Kekilani Lindsay and his family. um, and oh, side note, so my 50th birthday, she actually wrote me a mele.
Oh.
But the
Wow.
thing is that it hasn't been produced as far as music goes. So right now it is just the prose. But that's okay. Bombay.
We
Bombay,
may have to
Stevens, Manolo
we may have to
Galassi,
fix that.
I
Yeah.
love
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
then this may
like
be the birth of something.
Ooh. I like
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I was, yeah, because I remember I didn't know the connection between you and Puni when I reached out to you, yeah, when I sent you the mele, and
yeah.
it just made it that much more special that you guys shared a connection. And the way the song started was it was a poem because she had gifted us, my wife and I, a poem about her son, Phoenix Kahanu. Um, uh, about a year after he passed, and when we read it, it was just the perfect um, embodiment of what he represented. This.
Wow.
And she presented it to us in Kauai when we were visiting, and it just was the perfect, way to compare him to the beauty of a cherry blossom or a sakura, which is one of the most amazingly beautiful things you can see. It's so fragile, and then it's here for a time, and then it goes away, and then the process, it happens again. So I was just so moved by these her words. I just had to find a way to sort of bring that into uh, an extension of that, and apply music to it. And as I started to hear this melody, and I sort of took the original poem, and I didn't want to arrange it too much because it was perfect the way it was. But I sort of took some of the words, and then put it into a hui section, and then the rest of it I sort of just left it intact. And I sent it back, a rough version of me playing it, which is how we wrote another song that we co-wrote together, Kawahini Helekahi, on my second album. We worked this sort of long distance method format, which seems to work really well, providing they like what the music when you hear it back. And that's always a fun, when you get to work with another creative person. When you find that person, it's such a blessing, and a beautiful thing. So Puni and I have a really great relationship that way, where we can create something, and there is no tug and pull. There's no ego. There's no nothing. It's just creation, and something coming out of that. So really fortunate that to have her there to create with.
Wow. So sweet. I get chicken skin you share that story, that your
I
mo'olelo.
didn't I tell you got
Oh,
uwe?
ah.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to hold it back right now. I'm like, oh no,
Now we have quite a few of our
my
friends.
lashes, my lashes.
We have our friends that here is a good brother over here, Kimo Williams. He says, Aloha,
Kimo.
Stephen, Kamaka, Pualalia. Stephen's music is no ka oi. Unless you ask to cover it for a show, no can, one of a kind, bro. Now, Kimo is my brother. We've done a number of projects together. He has several CDs out. Great voice, great musician, plays kiho'olu. And that's why when he's saying, someone asks, can you do a Steven Espinola song? He goes, no can. That's one of a kind.
Thank you, Kimo. Mahalo.
So, yeah. And so Denise, she goes, is your third CD coming out soon?
My auntie is always, she's really good at putting me in check and making sure.
Right?
Aunties are good for that.
That was low key telling you, "Bah, where is it?"
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I could read the kauna between those words.
The kauna.
There is no kauna. It's just right there.
Well, there's no passive aggressive as aggressive as aunties. They can do that. Here's Cindy Krause. She is one of Andy Bumatai's Hamajang gang. Cindy jumps in and says, how's it, Kamaka? Got boy? Absolutely, Cindy. I'm going to deliver. No worries. We bring them, man.
I love that Hamajang gang. They're
great?
So I love that, yeah.
Here's Annette. Aloha, Stephen. Aloha, Rodriguez. Yeah. Saying, giving her aloha. We have quite a few friends dropping in. And Heke Ole says, Stephen, love your falsetto, especially the
Kalama ula. That's a beautiful melody to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the ones. Remember, I was telling you about with Dave. He's good at telling you when something's working, and he's also really good at telling you when something's not. And when we were recording that song in particular, I was struggling with just hitting. That song is the embodiment of a falsetto song, right? That's like one of the perfect Leo Ki'eki'e songs. And for some reason, I was just having trouble nailing that one, which prompted me to, we would table that one. I would come back to the Bay Area, and then I actually seeked out a really good vocal coach who helped me specifically on that song. We spent like maybe 2 months just trying to get my breathing right and my focus and, just control and my diaphragm. And one of the best things that I ever did was because of Kalama'ula, it sort of kind of prompted me to take it, to a next level and work with a vocal coach. And then the next time I went back, I was like, oh, this easy now. you like modulate.
You like modulate. Oh my goodness.
Certain songs is funny. Like when I see certain songs, it sort of triggers certain memories.
Yeah. Now, I want to share this piece, and this was written actually by Queen Kapiolani, and just share a little bit of this, and let's talk about this song here. Hypnotic. It is hypnotic. Paula Liat, this song, Ka Ipole.
That's another one.
Yeah.
All the songs with the
yeah.
Eyelashes.
So this is Ka Ipole Manu. Paula Liat, as a hula dancer, I mean, you're hula for life here, and you hear this song. How does this, what wells up inside of you, Puolele?
So first of all, Queen Kapi'olani was the hakumele for this mele. And she was married to King Kalakaua, yesterday was the anniversary of his passing.
Oh, January 20th,
Uh,
yes.
we're 130,
1891. Yeah.
yeah, it was 130 some odd years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But she wrote this mele for him. Unfortunately, Kalakaua did not get to hear it because she was missing him so much when he went travel that's how she penned this mele. And of course, Queen Kapi'olani was a very powerful woman, even though, the mo'olelo of her she was very reserved and very malie in her uhane. But without her, we wouldn't have Queen Kapi'olani Hospital. Actually, people called Queen's Medical Center. We're trying to get it changed back. That we need the title to be Queen Kapi'olani, just Queen.
Yeah.
She was a very influential woman, and this mele, God, is so beautiful, and I love how you kept with the melody, but you added a couple of little Stephen Espanolas in there. It's the same mele, but it has now become a representation of you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your version
That's always
gets me, and then you get Kavika Officio back there over there. Oh, no.
it's always a very, very tough thing when you take a song that's so known, right, by somebody who is so revered, right? So it's very challenging to even take on the song. And huge mahalo to my cousin Kumu Kavika. Up until he put that oli between the verses, it was sort of a kind of like it was in this unfinished state. I almost didn't even actually release it because I was it was such a different feel from other versions of Ka'ipule Manu and other iconic versions with who I respect and admire. The brothers Casimiro. More recently, Shana Oel had an incredible version. Gary Halilmau's version was amazing. Uncle Dennis. So these versions were already a part of the lexicon of the song, right? So to try and improve upon that or make it different, it was very was tough, and I sort of the mo'olelo where I was or my ike trying to present it was I wanted to put myself in the shoes of Queen Kapi'olani and write the song as if I was the songwriter, and how she must have felt when she heard the news that King Kalakaua passed away. And so I wanted it to have a more kind of a somber feel or presentation, and I think I was able to do that. And I was very, very nervous about presenting it because it was such a different. I mean, the even the strum is so different. You don't hear like a 6/8. I'm getting kind of geeky now with music terminology, but you don't hear like a 6/8 waltz sort of strum in Hawaiian music, and so that was very nervous, and my cousin Kaviko was able to share it with some of his kumuhula who he knew, and sort of said it was okay, to put it out there.
So King Kalakaua did pass away in San Francisco, in the Bay Area.
At the Palace.
At the Palace.
Yeah, at the Palace Hotel. Yeah.
My goodness. Is there a commemorative?
Beautiful. I mean, if you we actually filmed the video for this, and the at the time the director of the Palace Hotel, he was a huge Hawaii music fan, and so we had started talking to that person, and then when we were just about to ready to film the video, it changed. That person left the Palace Hotel, and there was a new person. So all of our plans to film throughout the Palace Hotel were kind of, we had to come up with another. But I think we were able to sort of get a nice representation of San Francisco. I love that whole the connection between King Kalakaua, San Francisco. Just that's something that I wanted to sort of celebrate as well.
Wow. And the Denise is saying, if you haven't seen it, make it a point to watch it. Yes.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, you can just search Kaipule Manu and it should actually just pop up.
In fact, you can go to, and we'd like to call your attention to Stephen's website here, because it has all things Stephen there. You have, I love it because I was going through it. Not only do you have a lot of great pictures, but that video, and several videos are on there. I had an opportunity to watch that video, that YouTube video. And please have all of our friends go to StephenEspaniola.com and get information about the project. He's been very evasive, you notice, about project number 3. We don't want to push him, even though Auntie will be calling him after this broadcast.
She's texting me right now.
You go, Auntie.
Yeah, I'm very careful with because in past projects I would say like, oh yeah, it's coming out, da 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 da, and then da 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 comes and goes, and then it's the next year and the next year. So I'm very careful now.
Yeah, of course. The video on this song is amazing. There's Denise again sharing that, and hey, we get brother Troy jumping in over here. He's talking to Marty when he will come visit. Hey, what's up, Troy?
I just saw Troy at the airport. When I came back to Honolulu on Monday, I just saw him at the airport.
There's another beautiful musician and voice right there,
Right.
Troy. Oh my goodness. Love
That's what I
this.
love about, especially like the like places like Kona or Kauai. Like you run into people at the airport. I love that.
Yeah. What's up, cuz? Good to see you, Troy. Thanks for dropping in, man. We love it. We love it, brother. If I missed your comments along the line when we were talking, at Kalamai, quite a few of our friends were popping in, and I may have missed your comments, not on purpose, but I'm just trying to scan through over here just to recognize folks who have taken the time to comment and to say hello and to send their aloha as well. Oh, my goodness. What have we learned?
The chat goes fast and furious. Though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just too fast and furious. And we're like, no, we got to keep up over here.
So let's see, Pulilea. What have we learned? What have we learned today? We have learned that Brother Stephen, at a very early age, surrounded by music and a hamburger with
Cheese whiz.
cheese whiz on top.
Sam's. You know what's
From
funny about that
Sam's?
is the wrapper.
Yeah.
It was this orange wrapper, like like how you can get like McDonald's has the yellow one, right?
Aye.
The orange wrapper was the same color as the cheese whiz. Love it. I love that place.
We call that fiber. It's fiber. Good fiber.
It's all part of my being now.
Yeah. No one's ever called you cheesy, Stephen. I know that's one thing for sure. You're the real McCoy. So, are you back at Noelani's or? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I used to do every Thursday at Noelani's, and now I do every alternating Saturdays. So not this Saturday, but the next ones, and and alternate every other one.
Our friends in the Bay
a couple
Area.
other musicians, as JD Pooley.
Oh, we know JD. Yes.
Rick Wasay is another one who plays there.
Love Noilanis. Love it when we had a chance to visit there. Great food, nice, great people. Made us feel so welcome when we were there. And
Yeah,
of course,
that was awesome. When you and Andy Bumatai were there, yeah,
yeah.
it was sort of like it reminded me of like those like a variety kind of a thing, like it was like just constantly like boom 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 boom. Is like so entertaining. I loved it.
And such a great clientele because the folks that come there are just of that same, they're all in that same vibe of just sharing and so much aloha there. So big, 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 big mahalos to Noelanis and to all the folks there. And to you, Brother Stephen, for joining us today. And Pulali, I know you have a busy day as well. We caught you in the middle of a number of different things that you are
Yeah.
involved with, but thanks for joining us over here. And unfortunately, we don't have time for a hula by Pulalia, Stephen. I
Not
normally
today.
not today, unfortunately, but we'll definitely do another one, Stephen. And
Yeah,
we will, yeah, we'll put her on there.
got a Hanaho for sure.
Got a Hana
Just for
hole.
that.
Thanks for the warning, Uncle.
Of course, of course, of course. And
I gotta lose my COVID pounds first.
oh, COVID pounds. All of us get the COVID pounds.
Hey, I can relate. I just buy bigger shirts.
Oh, okay.
My shirts keep getting bigger and
So
bigger.
speaking of shirts, shout out to Kanilea Ukulele.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
the
Speaking of
young
shirts,
featured artists.
Speaking of shirts,
Uh,
yeah.
our
Oh,
friends
hey, great
there,
picture.
Joe
Joe
and
Souza and his wife
Christy
Kristen.
Souza of
Yeah, that was
Kanilea.
in Kona. I was playing at Kona Brewing Company, and they came. They have a Koa ranch nearby there, and they
Wow.
were they just happened to be in Kona while I was there. So
Yes, yes,
when I
yes,
borrowed that
yes.
hat, somebody was wearing that cowboy hat, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
I need to wear it for the picture," and I borrowed it.
so beautiful. Thank you, Pualalia, for giving a shout out to Joe Souza and his wife Christy at Kanilea Ukuleles of Kaniohe. What a great family, and great
Amazing
things they're
people, yeah.
doing with koa, the planting of the koa seeds as well. Alrighty then. So mahalo once again, Brother Stephen. We loved having you here on the show. And we'd love to have you back sometime, and we can do part two of
Yes.
telling us about how much we're enjoying your third project that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hopefully that will be out by that time.
All right, Brother Steve.
Oh, can I
Aloha.
just say one date? As
Yes, yes, yes,
February
yes.
4th is when Sakura will be the single will be released, and that's the
Sweet.
song about Kahanu that Puni and I put together.
We will look
So
forward to
February 4th,
that.
and it'll be all major platforms: iTunes,
Great,
Amazon,
great, great.
Pandora. Yeah,
When we see it, we will put it on blast as well because
Absolutely.
that song has special meaning for us here at the Aloha Friday show, and to involve so much of our ohana very close to us as well. All right, Brother Steve. Aloha. Thank you so much.
thank you
And
both.
off he
Love you
goes to
guys.
the green room. Whoop, whoop. Brother Steve. Pulalia, that was fun, yeah? Oh,
He's a
man.
remarkable human being to begin with.
Yes,
The
yes,
way it is. Then you add the
absolutely.
musician part to it, then you're like, oh, wow, this guy's a threat. Come on.
Well, Pulalia, you have the great rest of your day. We want to say mahalo to so many folks that jumped on to say aloha, and I kind of lost track of the feed over here. My
Right?
goodness, so many of our friends were jumping in,
Going
which
so
is great.
fast. But I'm glad I had a moment. It's been a while. It's been a minute since I've been on the Aloha Friday
Yeah,
show. I really, really miss all of our social media folks and family and friends and all that. I will be back in the mix. I promise you
we look
guys.
forward to that.
Actually, I'm sure some people were like, "Oh my God, it's quiet without Pualivia." Oh my God,
What is she plotting? We don't like it when she's
right?
quiet.
Right? She's like a volcano. It's like it's gonna do it and then pow.
Boom.
Anyways.
All
You
right,
guys,
Pulalia.
yes, all of our social media family, mahalo for joining us. Don't forget, visit our social I'm sorry, Sandwich Island social media page. Give it a like. Also, we do have a YouTube channel. Visit there, click the like button, and also ring the bell for notifications when new stuff is put up. We're always around there. We're glad you get to join with us, and always love working with Uncle Kamaka. He's like my Hanai daddy,
My
um,
pleasure. My
which means
pleasure.
he will give me cracks when I'm out of place or out of step. Uh, but
Love you,
mahui loa,
Pulalia.
folks.
Have a great rest of
Love
your
you, love
day.
you.
All right. Aloha.